So the other day I get a text from my friend Richard Holmer, and he says, I'm just dropping a video. I think you're going to enjoy it. Check it out. So I go to his channel and I look, and he was right. It was Mopar versus the world. It was a 346 pack versus the other Trans Am inspired small blocks, the 302 Chevy, the Boss 302, and the Boss 351. There was a 327 in there also. So I'm watching the video, and it's an excellent video as his usual standards. There's a dyno comparison between these engines. So as I'm watching it, I'm getting this sense of deja vu because I've been down this road before. 1986, 35 years ago. I'm the editor and one of the chief writers for Muscle Car magazine. And this is exactly the type of story that we were doing in the magazine back then. You know, a comparison between the hot small blocks of the era. And at the time, the muscle car era was only over for about 15 years or so, 14, 15 years, but it was already like the thing. Our magazine, Muscle Car, was like one of the best sellers in the field. It was Car Review magazine, which was all muscle car, and actually they changed the name to Muscle Car Review magazine. The mainstream magazines, Hot Rod, Carcraft, Popular Hot Rodding, they were all doing very heavy muscle car era stuff. So it was like, that was the thing. And even, like I said, these cars were only about 15, 16 years old at the time, just out of production, really. And people were already collecting them. They were already doing rotisserie restorations. It was already a thing. And here we are, 35 years later, and this is the topic. Now, this got me thinking because Richard's channel is more geared towards late model performance and power adders. So he does a lot of LS stuff, Coyote stuff, turbochargers, nitrous, superchargers, and that's his main audience. So I'm looking at this video, I'm saying, well, this kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. Like it doesn't really fit the rest. I wonder how it's going to do. So this morning I just checked, and that video is trending on his channel very well, which means that his audience, his core audience, who are, I imagine in their 20s and 30s, they're late model performance enthusiasts, are interested in this topic of high performance engines that were out of production 50 years ago. These are engines that were done before a lot of these people's parents were even born. Think about that. Wrap your head around that. Half a century. So now it's not just a curiosity of retro things, because nobody's doing a shootout between the 331 Chrysler and the J2 Olds, or the any of those 1950s engines. Nobody's doing dyno shootouts between the 5-liter Mustang and the Turbo Buick, from the 80s or the 90s. Nobody really cares. Not that those cars don't have enthusiasts, but like there's no contemporary following for them. They're kind of like just old oddities. But when you talk about cars from that 1970, cars and engines from that 1970 or so era, they're still contemporary. We still, like on this channel, we do small block stuff, Science 6 stuff, whatever, and we have guys that are in their 20s and their 30s that love these things, that are trying to hot rod them as if there's something that you could just go pick up, anywhere, just like in the old days. Like, we used to buy these cars for $25, $50. Hot rod the hell out of them. They were everywhere. Now, they're half a century old and better. But yet, 20, 30, 40-something-year-olds are seeking these cars, and they're working on them as if they're a contemporary thing. They want to know the tricks. They want to get the stuff to run hard, right? It's a little crazy. You think about it. And you go back to my experience in the 1980s. I felt at the time, 1986, 1987, that I was missing the boat. Because, and I did get involved with the Mustangs, but at the time, the new technology was there. The EFI was just becoming the thing. I started getting very involved in the TPI GM Chevys, the 5-liter Mustang, wanting to be in the trend. But it seems the trend always goes back to those engines, those cars from the 1970s. And I said this before on this channel. In my opinion, 1970 was the high watermark of automotive engineering, American automotive engineering. That's where the names, the styling, the engines, the sound, everything all just came together. right away people are going to argue in the comments, yeah, but today's cars are safer, they're faster, they get better gas mileage, they go 300,000 miles without a tune-up, blah, 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 blah. I know, I get all of that, right? But the car as a car, right, as something that we connect with, okay? Because a car isn't just something that you drive. If it's only to get you from point A to B, it's an appliance. You don't connect with appliances. You don't connect with your washing machine or your microwave oven or your lawnmower. You connect with things that you identify with. You get that feedback from it, back and forth. 1971 or so was the high watermark for all of this, and I see the trend, right? So like a lot of little unrelated things come together. I'm over at my friend Chuck Yoder's place yesterday. Chuck's just a couple of years younger than me, and I'm having to make the drive shift for the Miata over here. So we're hanging out in his yard and we're talking, and he's got a late model GT Mustang. It's like a 2003, 2005, whatever it is, and it's got a nitrous bottle on it. And he's telling me the stuff that he did to it, and we're going back and forth. And he says, "Yeah, it's just such a bitch to work on." I says, you think about this, right? I says, Chuck, why did guys like us get involved in cars to begin with? What was it? He says, we loved working on them. I says, right, exactly. We loved working on our cars, right? I says, Chuck, can you think of a single job on that Mustang that you can enjoy doing, right? And he says, no, he says, everything is hell. I says, right, everything is hell. There's no joy to be found working on that car. You don't connect with that car, it's just something. And then the conversation just automatically led to some of the older cars that he's working on, and then all of a sudden he got enthusiastic about, his inline Chevy 6 he's doing for this, and a 302 Chevy he's doing for that, and blah, 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 blah. It's not a nostalgia thing. The older cars, the older engines have a substance that today's cars just don't have. And I don't care what kind of gas mileage it gets. I don't care how quick it is. It can run a 4-second quarter mile. It doesn't make any difference. They have a sterile appliance-like, thing. I see a trend, and it's not that I'm plugging into a trend, but I think I'm identifying with a trend. And I'm doing it with this Miata, right? Because what I'm doing is I'm taking something that has the features of the modern world. It's got lightweight construction. It's built to handle. It's a very simple car with complicated mechanicals. And I'm plugging in. I'm de-evolution. Remember the band from the 70s, Devo, right? I'm participating in de-evolution here. I'm taking the car and I'm removing all of the late model stuff. And I'm installing things that I can connect with. Engines that I can tune by ear and by feel and so on and so forth, right? Electrical systems that I can just diagnose, just like, oh, here, test light, boom, okay, here's a problem, fixed, done, okay, and then move on. And then I enjoy the car and I enjoy working on it. I think that's going to be the trend. More unrelated things that all seem to fit into that same pattern. About a month ago, I'm talking to a representative from one of the major aftermarket manufacturers. And he mentions to me that they bought, I can't use names, I won't use names, but he mentions to me that they acquired a very well-known fuel injection company. And I happen to, mechanical fuel injection, right? And I happen to be extremely familiar with this particular mechanical fuel injection system. I worked with it intensely for a couple of years. And I got all excited. I was like, bro, yeah, like, count me in on anything that has to be done. I love this, right? Let's do this. He says, well, the engineers are working on it now. I said, engineers are working on it. This stuff was perfected 50 years ago. I says, just put it out there to the public and we'll, He says, well, yeah, it's going to be all electronic. We're going to EFI with these systems now. It just took all of the wind right out of my sails. And I was like, do you realize how you're taking this incredibly simple, incredibly versatile thing and overcomplicating it and making it to where it's not going to be that infinitely serviceable, reliable system that it had become, known for? Do you not read the reviews on the own products that you put out, right? Half the people who do these EFI conversions are miserable with them. It's one problem after another, after another, after another. Yeah, there are some satisfied customers, and right away people are going to jump in and comments on this one and say, yeah, I put the XX EFI system on a car and it works fine. Great, you're one in a lucky half. The other half have one problem after another, after another, after another, after another. And there's all sorts of proprietary things built into these systems that just make it not, they're not happy, right? So the trend that I see on my channel is I see younger guys, 20s, 30s, 40 years old, that are starving to learn about carburetors and conventional ignition systems, all of the old school technology, because they came up with EFI, they came up with all of today's technology, but now they're looking for machinery that they can actually connect with. And if you want to connect with something, you do it with a screwdriver and not a laptop. Enough rambling for today. See you tomorrow. Well, wait, there's more. Richard's video. Okay, so when we were talking back and forth before I watched the video, I says, the Boss 351 is the engine. I said, those things were all tuning a savage. I did a drag test on one back in like 1986, right? It ran hard. And as it turns out, that engine was the one that came out on top, the Boss 351. But I thought about this afterwards. The Boss, the Chevy, the DZ302, was tested with the single 4-barrel. If they had run it with the cross-ram setup, because that package, you could order it with a cross-ram setup. It came in the trunk. They didn't put it on the car. It was a cam, intake, an Edelbrock cross-ram with two 750 Hollies, and a set of headers. It came in the trunk. Well, I believe that if they had run the 302 with that cross-ram setup, it would have crushed everything else. But maybe that's another video you can do. All right, that's it. I'll see you tomorrow.